Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm Tawana.
I'm Michael.
And we are the
Can't Get Right Couple.
You can't get right couple.
You had to put that extra on it. I like
Ooh,
that.
yeah.
Sometimes you think you can really sing, huh?
I can. Come on now.
I guess we'll just sit here until people start coming on.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and just kind of wait for people to start chiming in on with this.
Yeah.
Because we got a really good topic tonight.
I gotta send that
and we want to try to keep it to a minimum. But we want the engagement.
Yes, engagements is okay with us. It is. You're beautiful. Mm-hmm. You know that? You are. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in, guys.
Thank you. I'm trying to be
Gracias.
See. Anyway, so, people are coming in, so you want to go ahead and get started?
So the topic for tonight is, what is the time frame in a couple should stay engaged?
Now, the question is there really a time frame? You know? I mean, you see people now, engagements last for, anywhere from a month to 10 years. People just stay engaged. So, is there really a number? Or does it really depend on the couple?
I think there is a number. I think you should not stay engaged for no more than 2 to 3 years. There's no reason me personally to propose to somebody and then for a man to propose to a wife, a man to propose to a woman, and then they stay engaged for like 10 years. If that's the case, then y'all should just stay together as boyfriend and girlfriend.
You know, when we asked that question a few days ago,
hey guys, thank you for tuning in.
Someone said,
and also, sorry, babe. Also, please, guys, drop your comments below and what you think is the time frame a couple should be engaged before marriage. I'm really wanting to know what you guys think. We've seen, we posted this question early this week, and some people shouldn't be a time frame, and some people had a time limit. Why even go and buy an engagement ring to propose to your girl if you're going to be engaged for 10 years? That makes no sense to me.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And also, so I heard someone say, someone actually responded to the question and was like, says basically, once you know that this is the person that first of all, you're going to date for a while or whatever, how long that is. Yep. And the person said that once a man decides to say, hey, I'm going to give you this ring because I want to spend the rest of my life.
Hey, Steph.
Then after that, what's the big wait? Why wait? Because if you've already said, if a man says, I want to marry you, here's a ring. And then a lady says, I accept your ring. Then what is a reason? Is it to save for an expensive wedding that the marriage might not last but a year?
But 10 years?
You know what I'm saying?
What kind of wedding you having?
So it's like once two people make up their mind, in my opinion, once two people make up their mind that, hey, I'm good with getting married, are you good with getting married? Yes. So let's get married. You know what I'm saying?
And with this is such one of those topics that people don't really, especially guys, don't really like talking about, because if they've been with a female for a long time and they love that female, but they're just not ready to get married, but the female's surroundings, her friends and family is just getting married and she's getting stuck with the person that's not trying to move forward. A lot of the times the guy feels like he's forced to buy a ring, forced to pop the question because of her friends, not because he really loves her. Not saying that he doesn't love her, but a lot of times guys are just not ready to get married. They just want to quote unquote shack up.
Well, if that's the case, then, and I'm gonna have to be honest, if a man is not ready to get married, but he doesn't want to lose the lady, so he thinks that, say, hey, if I get engaged to her, then I'm basically, in a sense, I'm locking her down before locking her down. So therefore, well, I can take my time getting married. I've already made that initial step of getting married. But a lady has to say, hey, you're putting a ring on my finger. And it has to be both ways.
Yeah.
They have to say, okay, we can't, once we say we want to be with each other for the rest of our lives, and we say we want to be married, then we have to, then I feel, we're not marriage experts, let me just put that out. I feel that once that happens, then it has to be a good time frame that both of them agree on and say, hey, we are engaged now. I already know I want to spend time with you, rest of my life with you. So let's just make this, let's just make this official. Why wait? I mean, okay, people say, well, wait a year. Okay, do you spend that year getting to know someone? Do you spend that year like, well, let's just see how this works out because maybe we should live together?
Who just made that comment?
You know what I'm saying?
So, James, he just posted, no time frame. You may think the person is wanting you want to marry, but as soon as you think the time frame is right, you may start to see things in a person that may cause you doubt. And that's completely, that's a good comment, Jeff. Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's what dating is for. That's what dating is for. And a lot of people, you come in with people living together out of wedlock or having babies out of wedlock. When you think about, let's go back a little bit. When you start dating somebody before y'all even move to the next stage of possibly moving together, you don't see things like you do when you start living together.
Yeah. When
they come spend the night, they trying to do everything possible to stay on your good graces. They don't want to see those things that you normally do on a normal basis because they may not think that you're like that. So they're going to keep themselves 100% all the time.
On that best behavior.
Yeah, when they stay the night. Say, for instance, you a guy and your girl come stay overnight, or if you're in, she's doing everything, cooking and cleaning for you, and you're just like, yeah, I can do this. I love her. She's beautiful. She has all the qualifications that I'm looking for in a woman. She's doing everything right. And then you move to the next stage. You tell her you want to move in together, and she stopped doing everything. She don't cook. She don't clean. She don't do anything. She was doing those things just to get you in, I guess, trapped, if you want to say. But then she's not doing it no more. And that's why you do the dating phase. And I think I agree with living with a person before you get married. I do. Because I feel like you're going to see what that person is like being married before you get married.
I don't really agree with that, but it's okay. Anyway, you know what it really reminds me of? If you was a really big fan of the show Martin back in the day, when Pam and Tommy first got together, and they realized, wow, we used to stay all night with each other, but now that you move in, now you have to sleep with Lou Rawls on it, and you
shaving your head over the sink.
So those little things like that.
You don't think that is really big, but it is once you really start living. Once you start living together.
Which I'm sorry, but which brings me to the point of this. I feel like in my heart, a man should not ask a lady to get married because he should not ask her to get married until they are ready to, like, look, we're going to get married in blah, 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 like soon. And only because I say that because of, you want to play marriage, but you don't want to be married. You see what I'm saying? Don't play like, well, this is my fiance. A lot of people like to just have that title. Yep. What I'm saying? I'm a girl, I'm engaged. Hey, my man. Yo, I just popped a question. She said yes. Oh, dog, there's a cigar. Let's have a drink. All that stuff that goes along with getting engaged is all happy and everything else. But once you get through with that, once that little phase of I'm engaged wears off, there's got to be actions that's going to carry forward next. You can't just be idle and be like, well, I'm engaged, so now I'm comfortable again in the second phase of what we got going on. You got to be able to say, okay, let's move. Let's set a date. Now, I know everybody else. I know people that do their own things. And that's okay because that's what life's about. Everybody can do what they want to do. So this is really just our opinion. Now, for you guys that if you never really watched us before or you never heard us before on podcasts or seen us on YouTube, we got married after 8 months. We met in April. We got engaged in
June.
We got engaged in June, and we got married in December. So I was 100% sure. There was no
I wasn't sure.
I probably wasn't. So but anyway, I was sure about it. So to me, it wasn't really a matter of, well, let's wait another year or so before we get married. I knew what I wanted, and I went after that. And I was like, why wait? Well, actually, she said, why wait? And she was like, well, why save money for a big wedding and let's just go to the courthouse? So she saved us, so she only cost us $82 to get married. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what the courthouse costs. Put it out there. But I really think that once a man decides to put a ring on a lady's finger, it
should not be extended.
No.
It should not be an extended engagement. It should not. I mean, there could possibly until the time, but when is the right time? If you pop if a man pops the question to his lady that he's been with for at least 2 to 4 years, and he decides to pop the question, why should he wait? Why should there even be a time frame? He already know he want to be with her, so he's going to go ahead and get married because he's popping the question. Why wait another 3 to 5 years? Now, the only issues that should come up that should possibly delay a marriage is death in the family on either side, or something really bad that happened to push stuff back. But other than that, just still shacking up. But if you engage, if you decide to propose to your girl, bruhs, there should not be, that's the girl you want, unless you was forced to propose to her in some shape or form. But first of all, I feel like it shouldn't be no more than a 2 year. Now, if that 2 year time frame, unless you're saving and you guys mutually decide to have a very big wedding and you have so much to do, you decide to take that 2 year time frame and you making it happen to plan your wedding, that's one of the reasons you should wait the 2 years. But if you've been with somebody 2 to 5 years already and you propose to her, you should not be waiting till 5 to 10 years to get married. I'm sorry. Y'all can agree to disagree with that, but I think that's a bunch of bullcrap.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
In my opinion, when a man proposes to a lady, he should be ready. Once he says that, hey, I want to be with this person, right? And once he says that,
what did I do? Okay.
Once he gives a ring to that lady, and he says, I want to spend the rest of my life, he's got to be so serious about marrying her that as soon as he says that, he should be prepared for her to say, let's get married in a week. He should be so sure that he wants to spend his life with her, that if she says, let's get married in 1 week from now, he's got to be willing to say, let's do it.
Okay, James said, so psychologists say it takes 3 to 6 months before people start to let their guard down in a relationship. So that's true that people will be on their best behavior until they start to feel comfortable with you. Yeah,
that's true. I mean,
yeah, but when you meet somebody and you trying to put your best foot forward, you're gonna do everything in your power to make sure that relationship stay afloat, so y'all can elongate your relationship, so y'all can move to those next steps. But I'm saying when you've been together as dating for I'm gonna say 5 years, 2 to 5 years.
If you've already been dating prior to being engaged or getting engaged,
prior to you getting down on that knee or however you decide to pop the question, once you ask that person to marry you, you already know you want to get married. So like he said, if you decide to, if your counterpart says, yo, I want to get married tomorrow, you should be ready for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You have to be ready when that time
Because you decided to pop the question.
Yes.
And ladies these days are not waiting no more. They're not waiting.
Yep.
They want to get married. They want that social status of being married.
Yep. So men have to be, and once again, in my opinion, men have to be ready. Once he pops the question, he's got to be prepared to say, for that lady to say, are you sure you want to marry me? Yep, I'm positive. Here's a ring. I done saved up for the ring. I got it all. He needs to be prepared for that lady to say, let's get married in a week. And once he says, let's get married, and she says that, and then he be like, well, you know what?
Now she's questioning him.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you popped the question, so now what? You don't want to get married?
Yeah.
So why even give me the ring?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if you in a relationship and you're not ready to get married, those are some of the things that y'all really need to talk about. Because at some points, women don't want to be just with somebody their whole life. There's some women that do, and there's just some women in this day and age that don't. Like, yo, you getting all of the beans, the carrots, you getting all the steak and the beef at home. Go ahead and make that major step, and let's go ahead and set this up.
Yeah, let's make that official.
And what is the problem? Like, what is holding you back?
Yeah.
I mean, you are already in the relationship, so it shouldn't.
And you've already given a ring.
Yeah, you've already spent the coins.
You know, and I mean, I really think that it's really a matter of, and not in all cases, and I'm definitely I'm not dogging the men out, nothing like that. But I think it's, I think in some cases, it is just the fact of, I don't want you with anybody else. I'm not ready to necessarily walk down the aisle and get married and say I do. But because I don't want you to be with anybody else, then I give you a ring to shut you up or to make you be quiet for a little bit. Basically, I give you a ring so that buys me some time until I'm ready.
Okay, so Steph says, I gotta read these. Okay. Britt said, Britt and I dated a few months before living together. We believe
so you have to,
we could be each other's Mr. and Mrs. We just both don't have the desire to get married. We're okay with that. It's been 3 years for us.
But
engagement, where we come up, I'm sure the wedding will happen.
Well, see, that's one of those.
You know what, Steph? That's cool. If it's a mutual thing, where you guys decide, yo, I don't want to get married. I'm just not ready. I just want to feel you. I want to do this. I'm with you. That is completely fine, Steph.
But it has to be mutual, though.
Yes, that's completely fine, and it sounds like y'all in a really good relationship at a really good time. And some people just don't want to get married, and that is quite all right. There's nothing wrong with that. We're talking about the guys that are proposing to their women and that are in long engagements.
And not to beat up on the men, but there's men who propose to their girls, but their girls want to continue to keep prolonging it too as well too.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't just the men. You got men that say, hey, I want to get married to you, and then the women be like, well, for whatever reason, let's hold off or let's wait or for this, and they're looking for, that's, the wedding day is important to the man, but let's be honest.
It's the women's day. Because she's the one that's getting all dolled up with her dress. Yeah. She's getting her makeup, her hair done. She's got to deal with all the bridesmaids, the matron of honor. She's got to deal with flowers, the church. She's got to deal with what kind of reception she's going to have. So really, it's the woman. It's not. It's not really for the man, because all he got to do is wash his tail, get a good haircut, put on some cologne, and put his tuxedo on, and he walking down the aisle. Yeah. Female's going to take like 25 hours to get ready. You know what I'm saying? So I just and this is. I mean, we had this same opinion, but it's kind of different. But I just feel like if you propose, then you shouldn't be lingering it. You should go ahead and start planning to get married.
Well, I'm not saying I don't agree with you on that. Of course I agree with you on that. That is something, once you get engaged, then why not start the planning stage? Why not start having those, and even though before you got engaged, you guys probably talked about it and, joked about it a little bit about the wedding and maybe what it would be like. But now that, the question has been popped, the invitation has been accepted. then move forward. And am I saying the wedding has to happen within a week? No, because at the end of the day, it's solely up to the couple on how they want to do it. But I just feel like we're dealing with people who just get engaged to be engaged. I think that's what this show is mostly about. Is just, why wait? Why procrastinate on getting married? And both people have already agreed that I want to be with you, you want to be with me. Here's a ring. When we gonna make it official?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, like one of the comments, they decide they're not ready to get married. If you're not ready to get married, that's cool. That's fine. Do your thing. Yeah. Do your thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's gonna think ill will of nothing. You know what I mean? Our relationship happened pretty fast. It is just one of those things that happen. But we're just saying, like, once a person pops the question, what is the time frame? It's something, like they said, some people have no time frame. But I just don't. I mean, I have an aunt and uncle. When I was younger, we used to stay at their house all the time, me and my brothers. And I swear to God, I thought they was married. I just found out a few years ago, they just been together for like 30, 40 years. They ain't never went down to the courthouse. I'm like, now y'all just,
That's a common marriage.
Just a common marriage. You ain't signing no paperwork or nothing. They just been together. And I'm like, what? I thought they was married. And I mean, that's cool. What works for you?
Yeah. And another thing, if you guys get engaged and you guys feel like we want to get in, we got engaged, and if you guys feel like that you guys want to get married after a month of engagement, you guys want to just do your thing and get married, don't be concerned about what people say. I mean, we only knew each other for a few months, as we already said, and being in the military, being dual military, a lot of people would tell you straight off the bat, that ain't gonna work. Because there's so many people who get engaged who are dual military, who are both in the military, and a lot of people will say right off the bat, dude, that's just a fling. That ain't going nowhere, because there's so many people who do that, and then they go their own way. So, in some sense, we defied the odds of,
Now, I ain't going to say it wasn't hard. Not going to say it wasn't difficult. But if you decide you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you're going to fight for what you want, and you're going to keep it moving, period. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, we know some people that have been together for 100 years. Yep. And they just, out of the blue.
And another thing is, people say, well, I have to continue to get to know you. Well, guess what? You can be with somebody for 10 years and still don't even know them yet. Okay? So,
exactly.
So as much as we want to use that excuse, well, I'm going to get engaged, but I still want to get to know you.
But I still think we have to wait until the time is right. Okay, I understand that, but when would the time be right? I mean, once you give the ring, when would the time be right though?
Yeah.
Blue, it's like when would the time be right? Is it today? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Is it tomorrow? Is it like 3 years from now? Why put a time frame on your engagement when you've already put a time frame on your relationship? You put a time frame on your relationship. If you've been together upwards of from 2 to 5 years, you know this is the person you want to be with, because you already you giving them the ring. So you like, yo, I want to be with you. But when is the time right? All you doing is just making a grand entrance as Mr. and Mrs. whatever the guy's last name is. So when will the time be right? Yep. I mean, and it could be financial status. That's why you got the courthouse. Whatever the court cost is. And there's some people that go to the courthouse and they plan to have a wedding, a big wedding, later, a couple years from now, a year from now, whatever. So, I mean, there's no time frame to walk down the aisle to get married, because if it's more financial, you got the courthouse.
Well,
take $100, $200 and just go.
A lot of people ain't trying to go to the courthouse because I don't want to go because this is my wedding,
you don't want to
and
go
I don't want to go to the courthouse. So basically, you
but
don't want to go to the White House.
9 times out of 10, a lot of weddings that are really big, their relationships don't last.
Yep.
So, like you said, you got to do what you got to do. But this is kind of stuff that, as a married couple, we see
a lot.
Yes.
We
haven't been through it, but we've seen it a lot. Like, If you marry this person, it shouldn't matter what nobody's saying.
Yep.
It shouldn't matter what nobody's doing. And if your coins is not where you want it to be to actually have that big wedding, y'all can still go ahead and go get married and have y'all real spectacular wedding when the time is right.
Yep.
There's no time is right to actually sign the paper to marry your best friend. There's a time limit on actually putting the material things together. Don't mix those two up. Don't mix up the material thing, the material part of the wedding, with just going down and signing that piece of paper and making it official. Don't get those two mixed up, because see, that's what people are doing. Don't get it mixed up.
And because at the end of the day, it's not about how big or how small a wedding is.
It's about you marrying your best friend.
You guys are together now, and now you guys, that's the real ultimate status. More so, hey, I got engaged. Dude, I got engaged. You know what I'm saying?
And just think about this.
Yeah.
You saving up for them 2 to 3 years to have the big wedding.
Yeah.
You're gonna spend upwards $5,000 to $25,000 for one day.
Yeah.
Dos días. One day. And that is it. That is it. After that day is done, that is it. It's going to go back to what y'all been doing on a daily basis.
Already, yep.
That's it.
Now
you go on your little honeymoon for a couple days, go wherever you're going to go. And then when you come back, boom, you back to reality. And I'm not downplaying having weddings. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let's not mix the materialistic part of getting married with you getting married. Don't do that.
That's good.
I think most of the time, it's like Mike said, the guy really likes the girl, but will get engaged to her just so he can keep her in his life. Deep down, he knows he's not really her. Well, you know what? Oh, wait, let me read the rest of you. Let me read the rest of your comment. Knows he's not ready. But you know what? At the end of the day, James, if he's not ready to get married, then he shouldn't pop the question. He should just stay. They should just stay together. That's it. They don't need to. Once a guy moves and put that ring on a female finger, that's all she's going to be looking at. That's all she's going to be showing to all her friends, especially if it's a up to a 1 carat or whatever. That's what she's going to be showing.
Well, you know what? It's funny because I've seen a post that
Stephanie, give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm a simple person. I'd rather go to the courthouse and have a simple ceremony. Exactly, girl. That's cool. I mean, courthouse wedding, whether you have a church wedding or whether you rent out a space to have your wedding, it should not matter. The material, and I want to just set that out there. I have no problems with what type of wedding you want to have. Go ahead, girl. If you want to spend $50,000 on your wedding, go ahead. If you want to spend $500 on your wedding, go ahead. If you want to go to the courthouse, go ahead. But what we're trying to say is, don't mix the materialistic part of getting married with getting married. Yeah. Period. That's all we saying.
And see, my thing is, I seen a post asking men, hey, hey, can you guys drop the price? Oh, how much did you guys put down on your ring, right? And I mean, it was some numbers that was like up there, and I'm like, okay. So that makes me say this: if you're gonna go out and say this is the woman I want to be with, I'm gonna go buy this lady a $10,000 plus ring. I'm gonna put it on her finger, and then I'm gonna take my time. It makes no sense whatsoever. If you're gonna go out and spend that much money on a ring, and then you still need time to figure this out, time to still,
something is wrong.
You know what I'm saying? Something is drastically wrong. You put a $10,000. If I put a $10,000 ring on her, we going down to the courthouse to borrow. I'm locking you. Look, that $10,000 was a down payment for us for our trip going to the courthouse the next day. That's how serious it is. A person can't just buy a ring like that. Okay? A person can't just buy a ring like that and then put a wedding on hold for 2 years. It just doesn't make sense. Now, it always has those little side things. As long as there's an agreement by both sides, if he wants to wait a little longer and she wants to wait a little longer, then that's fine. But a man can't assume that I'm going to buy you a $10,000 ring and then it's okay for us to just wait, you know, without really getting her permission, because she got a ring on. So now she's living on cloud nine right now. So she's not going to
She's planning. She's reading wedding books. She's Googling wedding dresses.
Everything.
She's calling people to get fitted for wedding dresses. She's getting bridesmaid colors together. She's getting bouquet flowers together. She's trying to find somebody right now to make her cake. A 5-6 tier cake.
So don't just assume that once you
she's
give
looking for events, the pastor, the church,
everything.
Let everybody say amen. Yep. That's how we women are, just very. What kind of thinkers are we? Men are very logic and straightforward. We're all over the place. We are, and when we get that ring, man. I mean, I didn't think of none of that other stuff. I didn't have time to. But a lot of women today.
Because I locked it down.
Most women, once they get that ring, and especially if you went all out with the course, she's like, oh yeah, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And if you're saying, well, you know, let's wait like 4 or 5 years. For what?
Even, you know what? Even once you spend that much money, and in my opinion, if you have to still wait 2 years to get married after putting a ring on somebody's finger that long, and there's not no certain special circumstances that's causing it to be that long, a marriage should be going down unless both parties have already agreed that, hey, we engage, but we don't have to be in a rush getting married. Then that's good when both people, but don't assume because you give a ring that it's okay now for me to wait 2 years for us to get married. Just like she just said, a lady, she's planning. She's excited. You know what I'm saying? She's telling people, girl, when's the wedding? Oh, girl, we're going to get married. And then you come to find out, and he's like, well, I maybe thought we'd wait like 2 years or so. Can't wait that long. You gotta be in agreement from...
I agree. You don't spend only to have it collect dust on her friend. Exactly, Steph. That's what we're trying to say. That's exactly
you have to go in at it.
Yes, like I previously said, if y'all both parties decide y'all don't want to get married, y'all just want to be together, that's cool. But if you in a 2 to 4 year, even 5 year relationship already, you should by now kind of know that person and know their stance and their likes, their dislikes, what they eat, what they don't. Those are the little things that you should already know. So once that proposal hit the fan, he knows that's the person he want to be with. Like I said, unless he was coerced into it, you know, because of girl and her surroundings. So that's the only 2 reasons. He really want to be with her, or he was coerced. Is it coerced?
Yeah, sure.
Can't pronounce it. To doing it. So just be careful. Like I said, if you don't want to get married, don't get married. It's all right.
Well, if
we live in a day and age where
if you ain't ready to get married, then don't be selfish, basically. And I'm not calling my men out, but you know, it's more men that propose to their women than women propose to men. So it goes both ways. Don't get engaged if you're not ready to go all the way.
Yeah.
You know, be prepared if you get.
And it's amazing. It's a lot of engagements being broken off.
Yeah, so it's a lot of
engagements being broken off. So it's just take life one day at a time, but also think about the future, because time is passing us by quickly.
It is.
I have a son that's about to be a junior, not this year, but a senior, not this year, next year, and I can't believe it. I'm just looking at him like, okay, you was just this little kid with a big old head and a small body, and here now you're going to be graduating in a couple years. So it's just like time is waiting for time is waiting for nobody. Yep. So if you ready, go for it.
Marriage is beautiful.
Marriage is beautiful. It's not easy. No, it's not gonna be easy. But it's gonna take a lot of work and a lot of dedication to make it work. And that's just within a relationship period too. But once you dive into getting married, once you get married, that is it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have those other luxuries.
Yep. That
you had before. So, well, this was a very good topic.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the people that said there's no time frame. I appreciate the people that said that is a time frame, because I feel personally that there should be a time frame on it, a short time frame.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I just don't see why a person would get engaged just to let a ring collect dust for a couple
Like
of
that
years.
said, collect dirt.
Oh, for real?
Don't let collect dirt. They collecting dust all in the little crevices and stuff. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get married to your lady, man.
Go
Make
on
her
and,
happy, man.
Go on and make that happen. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
man.
Don't put off unless it's a mutual agreement that we're engaged, but we don't have to get in a rush getting married. That's to me, that's one of the biggest exceptions to the rule is when both people, because once you get engaged, then while it's not married, now your relationship goes from a relationship to an engagement. So it steps up. You know what I'm saying? It goes up another
There's
level.
some things that
There's
some things that you used to do when you was together, not engaged, that it's frowned upon once you get engaged. You know what I'm saying? As an individual, you could do whatever you want at any given time because you're an adult and you own your own body. But at the end of the day, once you become engaged, man, that's stepping up, bro.
That's another step.
And that goes for the women too.
Because you always hear people talking about my dude stepped up to the plate, dude.
Ladies have to understand they can't constantly put pressure on a man to marry them. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I agree.
Like, if a male feels like he's being pressured to get married,
well, he don't need to be in a relationship.
then he needs to do two things. He needs to either have a really serious talk with the girl, his current girlfriend that's putting that pressure on him, or he needs to leave the relationship. Period.
Now, the only thing of it is women don't want to put pressure on men to get married. But as you said earlier, women not going to just keep hanging around and hanging around and hanging around. You can't just be like you're going to just get
for the women that want to get married.
You're not going to just get the cookie and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You're not going to. I'm not going to let you just tag along. Yep. I got goals. I got dreams. I do want to be married. You know what I'm saying? I do care about you. But it's time for us to take it to the next level. We can't just live. We can't just keep living like this. Yep. We got to move on. So what's your intentions?
And Jeff, I did make that point earlier in the video that some guys are feel like they are being pressured to proposing because of their girls' surroundings. The females, everybody's getting married around her but her. So they do feel like that. But I don't feel like a man should propose to his girl until he's absolutely ready and he knows. But like what we talking about is once he gets married, once he proposed, then there shouldn't be no time frame. That's kind of like that's actually a whole nother video if you really want to talk about it. Being pressured, like the engagement. That actually is really like a whole nother video.
That's a whole other conversation.
That is a whole nother conversation.
But
Jeff.
you know
I'm
what?
telling you, it is.
It happens.
It happens a lot.
Men get pressured to. I need to get engaged. Okay, now that we engaged. Okay, now tell me when we're gonna get married. When we gonna get married? Well,
but you know what? A lot of the guys, they're not into the whole like planning wedding stuff. So a lot of them kind of leave it up to the females just to say, you know what, babe, I'm with you, whatever you want to do. This your day, you do what you want to do. So they may not have that time frame in mind. They may not have that input because they're going to put their input and the female and their girl is going to be like, that's cute, but now we ain't doing that. We're going to do it my way. So it's like we said, it is. Really? It happened to you? Oh, man. We'll talk offline about that. He said it happened to him.
Okay. Oh,
so you saying that the girl that you was with was trying to pressure you to getting married, to proposing to her? Yeah, if your girl got to pressure you to get married, bruh, then that's not the person for you. Because if you're not ready, if you know she's for you, but you're not ready to walk down the aisle to make it official, but you've been together for almost 10 years, that's a problem too in itself.
10 years is an outlier for people being engaged. It happens, but most people are not engaged for that long. Most people, most people are engaged for
Terry.
Most people are engaged for maybe 2 to 5 years. Probably a little bit longer than that. Because it's amazing when you hear people say, "Yo, how long have you been together and how long have you been married?" you see it. Well, we've been married. Well, we've been
together we've been together
for 16 years and been married for 6 years. Whoa, you guys just been hanging on for 10 years, and you guys finally made it, official. So it's kind of like, why? I mean, come on, fellas.
Especially when you are playing house and you have kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just, I don't know. I mean, that's just my way of thinking. I know we're going to have difference of opinions and individuals that mine is wired differently. And that's okay. And that's the whole purpose of these videos, is to get everybody input. We're just giving y'all our input on the situation. Like, I personally feel like, nah, bruh. Not the 2 years, man. We shouldn't be.
We got to get on with it.
If we got to go and spend that $100 right now because we ain't got the 10 G's for our wedding right now, that's cool. Let's go ahead and make it official and keep it moving. You know what I mean? So,
that's it.
And that's all we at, bruh. Yeah, and we got engaged, but I ended the engagement after going to marriage counseling. That's cool that y'all went to marriage counseling, and that's something people don't even do anymore. People don't even go to counseling anymore, man.
Nope.
They just try to fix their problems, and this is where the communication part comes in. Because and we could revert this stuff back to Martin and Gina, because they were our favorite on TV couple.
Yeah.
Because they were young, they were spontaneous, they went through the stuff that people don't talk about every day.
Yep.
They broke up, they got back together. Martin had a bad, you know what I'm saying? He gave her a bad pop in the question, and she said no. Nah, bruh.
That ain't real.
She gave her all to him, and that's the kind of engagement, because he felt pressured into getting married.
He wasn't ready.
And he wasn't ready.
Yep. So he gave her something that was completely not up to par. Wasn't like, no.
But he knew that if he didn't step up and do the right thing, he was going to lose his girl.
Yep.
And he didn't want to lose Gina, but he still wanted to play house.
Yep.
So he had to go back and rewrite and redo what he did. It might have been a TV show, but I'm telling y'all, that stuff happened all the time,
That's real life, man.
That's real life, man.
That's real life.
And he came back, did it, a lot of stuff in they personal,
and he got it right.
Behind the scenes of being Tisha and Martin didn't go that well, but at the end of the day, that was a good way of putting a guy being pressured.
And when he finally did it, it was perfect. It was everything that she had dreamed of.
And look what they did.
You know what I'm saying?
They went ahead and was doing getting party planners, and then what they did, they ended up skipping town and just having a on the beach wedding.
Yep.
People do it all the time.
So you have to, and so it's at the end of the day, it's completely up to the couple on how they see fit and how they want to do it. No one can tell you how to do it or what to do it. We slowly gave our opinions today. And to me, just
exactly, because if God forbid anything happened between us, bruh, that's it. I ain't getting married again. I ain't doing it.
So just by you not doing it makes me feel like I made this marriage horrible for you.
No. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying.
Okay. But anyway,
don't misconstrue what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when you get married, well, that's a whole nother stuff. We're not gonna get into that because that starts a whole nother conversation.
So men, and once again, in my opinion, once you make that decision that, hey, I want to be with her, she's not pressuring me to put a ring on it, but I'm ready because I feel like this is who I really want to be with, then make sure that you're prepared for her to be able to say, let's get married tomorrow, or we're going to get married in 1 week then. And that's when you can really tell if this is really the person that you really want to be engaged with, because if you can go that fast after being engaged, because she's okay with getting married within a week, she's like, why wait? Let's do it now. And you like, let's go.
Let me go. We could go to the courthouse. I got my rollers and my bonnet on.
He proposed to you.
I got on my Fire and Desire shirt, and I got on some black stretch pants with some Nike shoes. Let's go do it right now.
That's when you know that. That's when you know that, you know what, this is legit.
Yes.
But once again, at the end of the day, please, by all means, whatever works for you and your significant other,
do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
We're just
you
giving you
guys
our
do that.
opinion on
Yeah,
a time frame.
we're not giving anybody nothing to say. You better go do it as soon as you get married. Nope. That's just
What we're doing is just giving you some things to think about
that's just our
before
opinion.
you get engaged and once you get engaged. Just some things to think about. It's only
Brainstorming
right,
together.
guys. I said you were married. Money shouldn't matter. We did the car. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly, Dawn.
You gotta just do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And just like she said earlier, it's nothing wrong with getting married at the courthouse and then be like, okay, babe, you know what? I'm so happy that we're married. Now let's start planning so I can give you the wedding that you truly deserved in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So, let's go do the big wedding thing. We've already did it, and I've already showed you that I'm there for you. So let's go make that happen.
Yep. Yeah.
You have to. That, when the engagement happens, that is a way to really tell who's serious about this relationship, who's really serious about moving forward. And when you're serious, waiting.
It's not an option. It's not going to be an option.
Waiting is not a problem for you. I mean, hurrying up and going through with it is not a problem whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So, and even if you decide that you want to wait, we're not saying that that's a problem either. I'm just saying, like, it's something about knowing that you know that this is it, and I know that I want to be with you. And when you're ready to get married, let's do it today, tomorrow, the next day.
Yeah.
This is my way of saying let's do it at any given time.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I guess we're going to close out this episode. I'm Tawana.
Well,
Wait, no.
Yeah.
What?
Really?
What?
Well, anyway, you guys can catch us on YouTube.
Oh, my
You guys
bad.
can check us out on podcasts, on
Podcast.
whatever.
iHeartRadio.
iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify. You guys go check us out as the Can't Get Right couple. And we really appreciate the support. We're trying to do things a lot better, trying to be consistent. Sunday nights, because that seems to be really the only night that we really got time to really do it because of the week being so busy and my daughter playing football and all that. So her practice is late at night. So yeah, but hey.
I'm Tawana.
I'm Michael.
And we are the Can't Get Right couple. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace.